So it was the morning after the most terrifying experience of my entire life, you know, going through that whole night, sleepless, terrified, having delusions about things happening. And then it gets into the next day where I've been sent home. You know, on that drive, I think the delusion started again immediately before I'd even left on the drive. And on the drive, the delusions turned into certain colour cars being bad. For instance, red cars were bad, white cars were good. There were good numbers with 888s, 777s, all of that. You know, my favourite numbers. And so I started following those kinds of cars and believed they were protecting me. And then I saw a horse float, and it had a painting of a horse on it, and something inside me told me that I need to follow the horses, because I'll be protected if I follow the horses. So I thought people were following me. I thought the people in the red cars were bad. They were going to get me, and there was some sort of bad thing that was after me, that was trying to get me, trying to hurt me or take me out. You know, there was some kind of ominous bad thing that was out to get me, and I had to try and evade it somehow. So following the horse float felt like I was, you know, being saved, being helped. So I followed the horse float all the way to this rodeo place. They had a big horse day, and I parked up in the car park there, and I felt safe. I stayed there for a while, and I was, you know, I can't remember exactly what I was doing there, but I stayed there for a bit before I departed again on my mission back to Hamilton. On the way from that horse day, from the car park and getting back in the car again, things had escalated even more in my mind. Delusions started coming in even more. You know, I must have been so tired, so fatigued. I hadn't eaten, hadn't slept in 5 days or so, and had been smoking a lot of weed. So I jump in the car, and my missus has given me a clear quartz crystal, this big crystal. If anyone knows anything about crystals, you know what the clear quartz is about, and how it can protect you in that. She gave me this big crystal, and I had it in my car. And as I was driving, you know, I made up a rule. So one of the rules was I wasn't allowed to ask for any help, and I wasn't allowed to spend money to get to where I was going. So I was on about a quarter tank, and this was a 3 or 4 hour drive I was going on. And I stop at this petrol station just before the turn off. Turn left and you go to Whangarei, turn right and it's on the way back to Auckland and Hamilton, back to Wellsford, all that. So just before the turn off, there's a petrol station on the right. I get there and I've got the delusions going, and I see this lady in there, and I decide, shit, I'm going to ask her for a full tank of gas without charge. I don't know how this is going to happen, but she's going to give me a full tank and she's not going to charge me for it. So I get there and I see her name pop up on the screen just in front of the counter, and I look at it and I thought it was the name of a place. It was Ngāpuia. And I looked up at her and I said, hey, where's Ngāpuia? And she looked at me like, that's my name. And I was like, oh, is it? Okay. And she's sort of looking at me like, what the heck? And I said to her, I must have sounded pretty out of it. I said to her, I don't know what this is about, but I know that you're here to help me. So I need help. I'm not allowed to spend money. I need a full tank of gas, and I need you to give it to me for free. And this is all part of something that, you know, I'm doing this to help people. And this is all part of the plan. And I even offered her the clear quartz that my missus had given me, this expensive clear quartz. And I handed it, I said, I can give you this as payment. I handed it over to her, and she sat me down in this room out the back. And she said, you just wait here. Can't remember what she said. She took off. And then she came back later and she said to me, okay, you hop out the chair. This isn't the right place for you. This is where people get dealt with. We need you out of that chair. Come with me. We're going to fill your gas up and you're going to be on your way. So she fills the gas to the top, and then I can't remember what happens, but she says, she sort of yells at me, you know, as I'm leaving, like I tricked her or something, and I just yelled out the window, "I'm so sorry, Ngā Puia, I'm so sorry." And I drove off, and I saw this other car coming in with this pack of lads in it, and I thought, holy shit, were they here to get me or something? Were they here to take me out? And my mind started going on that delusion. So I started going even more on, people are after me, people are trying to chase me, I need to get to this mission and get it done, I need to get it going. And that's when Bowden Barrett popped into my head again, and I needed to get through to Auckland to get to his house to take him to the meeting that I'd created the day before. So I got the full tank of gas, I'm taking off, I'm driving past Wellsford, and then the delusions start playing in my head again, and I see, you know, I know that it's not a real person that I see a person coming towards me in the car on the main highway, and I'm going this way, they're coming towards me, and I look at the person driving and they smile at me and wink, and it's a person from my past that I was scared of. And then I thought, at that second, I went, oh no, they're on the way up to go and hurt my family, my missus' family up north. The person that she's with is probably down in Hamilton on the way to hurt my son. So I thought, oh no, that's right, I have to meet Leo and they're going to get there before me. Oh no, I've got to help him, I've got to save him, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. So I started panicking and I pulled over, I called my mum and my dad. I FaceTimed them, and it must have been pretty freaky for them to get that FaceTime. And I'm sitting there on the phone, you know, walking down the highway, and I'm just like, Mum, blah, 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 this is happening. You've got to go get Leo for me. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. And then my dad grabs the phone, he's like, what's going on here? I said, Dad, can you please go and get Leo? Can you please go get him? And he said, no. And then I hung up the phone. It was like, man, okay, I've got no help. No one's going to help me. I need to do this by myself.